There we go. Okay. So happy Tuesday, y'all. Oh my gosh. We're like already over halfway through March. How's everybody feeling? Good. Good. We've been doing a lot of stuff as a team, like kind of making the most of March, kind of trying to like get in consistent action and like lead into April. And I think that this is the call that's like really going to be hopefully helpful for you guys. I think we have learned so much from Alexi, who's like the funnel expert, right? Like we all love her funnel trainings, on how to build a funnel, but I kind of want to like elaborate on her funnel aspect and then talk about like Alexi and I will just kind of like go back and forth towards the end of on like things that we say to bridge the gap between someone who's in our funnel and someone who we want to talk to, because at that point in time, like we've assessed and screened them and we just feel like they'd be a great fit for our business. But I mean, if you are brand new here, if you don't know what a funnel is, building a funnel just means like on social media, the people that you're coming across, essentially creating like a collection on social media and adding those people to like a list, right? Like it's to create new relationships, to create and expand your network, right? Because I think that's like a huge part. This is network marketing. You want to constantly be expanding your network. So has been a great place to learn how to build funnels. But what I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about tonight, if you are on my team, then you've already heard this training a little bit, but is about moving the funnel off of Instagram and bringing them over to TikTok as well. So if you do not have TikTok, I highly suggest that you consider getting a TikTok. I have a challenge group this month where we are, hang on one second. I'm just going to go ahead and do some muting. Okay. So we have it's an accountability group. It's called March Madness. We're showing up every day, giving each other like collaborative ideas to get into like daily action and things like that to grow in our businesses. And one challenge that I had for people, whether they wanted to do it or not, was they had to create a TikTok. And if you have a TikTok account, I'm going to tell you right now, it is like a gold mine. Last year, when I randomly was just sharing, making an adrenal cocktail, adding our collagen to it, this was last May, maybe, I hit executive that month in customer volume, and I like barely maintained builder at that point. So you can definitely find a sweet spot in that algorithm, and it's really beneficial for your business. Now that's like a customer side, but one thing that I have been implementing in the last couple of month here is really focusing on TikTok. And now for me, my focus to TikTok came from like kind of getting overwhelmed and burned out on Instagram because I'm a perfectionist and I wanted my feed to look perfectly curated and all my content. And then I went over to TikTok and I was like, I don't care if I get 10 views on this video. I'm making bread. I'm just going to show people that I'm making bread. And so I think like being able to go there and show up as myself really built trust my audience there really quickly, and it's kind of pushed me into a lot of great conversations. So TikTok is really similar to Instagram when it comes to creating a funnel. You can find people that you relate to and resonate with. If you've used TikTok before and you're like, this has nothing to do with anything I'm interested in, go to the search bar and search keywords. For me, it would be like gardening, homesteading, cows, TikTok, dogs. It's mom of four, right? Moms of things like that. Those types of searches are going to, I tell you, I can't even tell you, the algorithm over on TikTok is so accurate. It's scary. Like you are going to know the people you're going to want to be best friends with. And it makes it a lot of fun when you start to get into conversations with these people. So it's very similar to Instagram, where there is a save button on the bottom right-hand corner. I think it looks like a little flag. And you're going to video, and then you're going to be able to add it to collection the same way that you would on Instagram. And so what we've been doing in our March Madness group is we have a folder called March Funnel, and every day we're adding 5 to 10 people to this funnel. We go back and we click on that person's video, go to their page. You can do stories now on TikTok, so I'll engage with their stories. I'll like their recent videos. I'll follow them, all of that jazz. And you know, it's a really great way to start to build over there. Just going to throw in a little tip for you. If you're wanting to build your TikTok, post like 3 times a day. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be relevant. I mean, I like to get on there and like share my grocery haul. People like grocery hauls, right? Like just share the things that you're doing in your day, again, to like build trust quickly with your audience. So when I'm adding these people into my funnel and I'm engaging with them, sometimes we'll start conversations within the messenger area of TikTok. And there's sometimes when we will move it out, and I'll just say like, we're vibing, we're like hitting it off, we're becoming like super fast TikTok BFFs. And I'm like, hey, do you have an Instagram? Like, I'd love to follow you over there. And so we'll like exchange Instagram handles or whatever, and we'll follow each other there, because at that point in time, if you're able to move it off of one social media platform and onto another one, then someone's day or someone's week, they're going to get multiple exposures to you on different social media platforms. So like you have a better chance of them seeing you sipping on your greens or taking your court throughout the day or sharing a really exciting promo, or just, again, whatever you're doing in your day to like kind of build trust and give them an insight into what you are doing. And so, I mean, I think that the response from our March Madness group, as the people have been posting on TikTok and growing their funnel over there, people are starting to like, I feel like people who were not already comfortable and confident or knowledgeable on that platform have like grown outside of their shell, and they're like, this is so fun. I found so many great accounts to follow. And they've become like really comfortable. I don't know, Lauren, JC, Laura, like anybody else can like nod yes or no. Savannah, I see you on here. But there are a bunch of people who are in this March Madness group who have recently taken on TikTok. So you can have messages there. You can have messages on Instagram. It's really about funnel, as Alexi has said so many times, is just really about creating a genuine relationship. Okay. So there are, we were talking about today, Alexi make her TikTok because she's going to start posting there, and Ray's kind was taken and she was really mad. It was like, so what was her name? She had a really random name too. Do you remember? I think it started with an M.
It was like Tran.
I remembered her last name was Tran, but it was like Matilda or like Martha.
And Laura was like, is that you, Alexi? I was like, no, it is not me.
The catfish account, actually. So we, I would really you to like start to build those genuine like friendships and relationships. My thing is like, I don't go into it thinking everybody's gonna, everyone's gonna my business, right? Because I think if you've done network marketing before, or even if you've just been in queue for a few months, you've probably learned that like not everybody is cut out to do the business, right? Some people are better off just being our customers, right? And we're able to impact them with our products that way. So, and sometimes people won't be either. They won't fit into any box, but like you're just creating a community. And so I go into these conversations not thinking like, this is my next business partner. This person's in my funnel and I'm going to prospect them and I'm going to recruit them. Like, I don't go into it with that kind of mentality. I do start my month saying like, over in my head, like, I'm so excited to get my next business partner, right? Like, I don't say I'm so excited if I get my next business partner. It's like a when thing. And I like pump myself up, and it really helps me kind of, I don't want to say like manifest, but like just keep the positive energy. And like that way, when I'm going to conversations with people, you know what I mean? I feel confident and excited in my delivery. So I think that's something important that I wanted to throw in there. Like I said, like this time of day, I have had squirrel brain lately, so I'm going to go off on tangents. But I go into these conversations and right away, you can kind of tell, like, I like pen to paper. I like having a notebook. Yes, Kat, back into TikTok. Do it. But I like to keep a notebook and I will take notes. I will write the people down. Like having a collection is great, but if I'm starting to talk to someone and I think that they are going to be great, like I will write their name down. That way I can remember, I can look at it quickly without having to scroll through videos that I want to talk to this person on a regular basis, right? Like there's some people and they will jump out to you, right? Whether it's the way that they show up on social media, like they're who they are as a person, the content that they share. Sometimes I follow people and I get really excited because I feel like they embody all of our 5 F's, right? Like they'll talk about fitness. They'll be talking about their faith. You can see the foods that they're eating, so you know that they're eating well. They talk about like their spouse. They talk about their kids, like whatever it is, like they embody our culture here. And so I already know that there's someone who's going to come into this and they're going to appreciate what we have to offer. And because of the content that they're already sharing, they're my ideal business partner, because once they get into this, it's going to be like a seamless transition. They're just adding Q into what they're already doing. And it's not really like they have to do much extra. Um, so those are like the types of people that I to find, and those are the types of people whose names I will write down in my notebook so that I can make sure that I go back to them. And those are the types of people who I will have conversations and I will create like a friendship. I'm not the type of person who's going to keep someone in my funnel for 3 months. That's not my style. If someone is in network marketing, within like the first 72 hours, I am bringing up their business. Like there was a girl who followed me 2 weeks ago. This was on Instagram. And she, started following me, and she responded to one of my stories. And so I was like, oh, who is she? Before I followed her back, I went and looked at her feed. I was like, oh, her feed is adorable. Her reels were great. She was using trending audios. And like, she's someone who knows how to like get herself in front of an audience. Right. And so I noticed that she was with another company. And so we're chatting, like she responded to my story. So I responded back and we started a conversation, and I said, oh my gosh, I just followed you back and I saw that you're with XYZ. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, how long have you been there? So like, that's the type of situation where if someone responds to my stories, or if we get into a conversation, and you have that in to just say, oh, I just noticed that you're with this company. Sorry, hair is doing it. It's all crazy. If someone's like, yeah, exactly. Like that's your window, is if someone's with another company and the conversation starts, I saw that you're with XYZ. How long have you been there? Oh, I've been there for 5 years. Oh my gosh, wow, that's a really long time. Like, how's your business? Like I don't think that you should be afraid to ask those questions. Okay. If someone's in another company and they're following you, chances are it's because you're in there, right? Like, or they think that you are bringing something to the table that would make you someone worth watching, right? Or maybe they're inspired by what you're sharing. So just get right into it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to just say, like, you're not saying, hey, do you want to come join my team? You're just kind of feeling, you're seeing where their business is, and you're going to run into situations where people are like, oh yeah, I'm happy here. But we're asking people those questions, like, how long have you been there? What's your business like? Or how's your business been going? Like, how's your past year been? Like, exciting things like that, like making it excited, like you are interested. They're going to ask you the same questions, and you're going to get to tell your story. And now maybe you're brand new and you haven't hit builder yet. Or maybe, you just don't have your own story yet, still have something to tell. You can still talk that are going on in the company. We just went our Q home. We have these 6 new pillars. The next few years are going to be so exciting. We're opening, what is it? Is it 3 new countries? I think we're opening this year. Like, I have all these stats if you guys want them. I wrote them down, but like we have so many things going on. You can take the growth that we've had. If say that you're talking to someone in Mexico or Canada, you can say, oh my gosh, it's so incredible. I saw that you're in Mexico. Like I just got off of our CEO call and they were talking about the growth. Like, I can't believe we had XYZ percentage growth just last month. Like, that's wild. Like, you are in such a great market. Have you heard of Q Sciences before? I'm with Q Sciences. Have you heard of Q Sciences before? Like, these are the types of things that I say when I'm talking to people. And sometimes people will say like, oh yeah, I have heard of Q. Like this girl I was referencing earlier, she was like, yeah, actually, some of my sideline friends and like people I'm really close friends with in the company, they all just left and went to Q. And so it's like, oh gosh, like, what do you know about it? Why didn't you, were you interested or were you not interested in like hearing more about Q? Like just asking those types of questions to kind of see where their mind is. But I like to keep it business. Like once we go there, and then sometimes it's not like, I don't aim to close that very day. I don't necessarily try and shoot to get them on a call that very day. You have to like feel it out. That's why like Alexi and I were talking about planning this call, and I'm like, I don't want to write up scripts because it's like a situation by situation basis. You're never going to have the same situation or the same conversation twice. Hang on. How are you having private conversations on TikTok? I'm a newbie. I'm not sure how you private message versus letting them. Yeah. So I comment on their videos. So TikTok's tricky. Like if they don't follow you, and you don't follow them, oftentimes you can't message them unless it's someone who goes into their settings. So y'all, you can go into your settings and turn on message requests. That's a new feature. So like before, I was just getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments on that collagen video, for example. And back then, I had to respond to all those comments, and I was like having to do follow-up videos, like, come find me on Instagram, like we can chat there. But like all these people were like, I don't have Instagram. I'm like, well, go get Instagram. But like really, it's a really great feature that they have now. So I would make sure that if and when you create TikTok, or if you already have it, to go in and tick that setting. And also to make sure that even if you don't have 1,000 followers, where you can't put a link in your bio on TikTok yet, to still have it typed out. If you have a milkshake link that tells a little bit about yourself and things like that. For my milkshake on my social media, I have the first page kind of set up like a link tree, like my favorite links, and I'm constantly changing it. So if I have a video go viral on collagen, I'm going to have, collagen info here, and I'll have the info sheet from the ARC app right there, so they can click it and they can get the information. They can read all the ingredients. And then right below that, I'll have the link to purchase. Like I'll just copy my PC link. I don't mess around with retail. I copy the PC link from ARC and I paste that there. And I say, here's the link to purchase the collagen. And so that way people are able to go in to do their own research. I usually like to have a conversation with people, but sometimes people just want to go in and do it themselves. Yeah. And milkshake is great. I like it because there's pages. So like I can have like a little bit about myself and my family. I can have like my link to talk about Q and like join the business. And it's I think I pay $2.99 for the milkshake app, and you can kind of like do whatever you want with it. But if you don't have a milkshake, if you're one of these people in here who are like, I need to get a milkshake, I want you to write it down in your notebook right now so that you know to do it tomorrow. Cause it literally takes like 5 minutes to set up your milkshake. And then as you have these links that you want to add in there, you can add those links in there. But yeah, as far as like my funnel goes, if someone's in the business, like I said, I get it right into the conversation. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. I just saw that you're with It Works. I just saw that you're with Arbonne. How long have you been there? Like, how's your business going? If you saw that they had a comp plan enhancement, oh my gosh, I just saw you guys had a comp plan enhancement. That's so exciting. We just had a comp plan enhancement too. Like you don't have to like compare. You don't have to try and make you sound better right off the bat. Like you really want to get to know the person that you're talking to. Because people like to talk about themselves, right? So like if you can get someone talking about their business and their success, not only are you going to learn like what makes them excited because that's what they're sharing, but you're going to be able to potentially also know like what their pain points are in business, so that you know how to come in and solve a problem for them. But if it's someone who maybe the business or isn't currently in the business, but maybe they've done network marketing in the past, and I just don't know it yet. I mean, those are the types of people where I like to really form a relationship. But like I said, I don't keep people in my funnel for months. Like I like to move quickly with creating relationships. And the way that I go about it is, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, I'm naturally like just a very outgoing, chatty, friendly person. So like I will just reply to stories and like in a relatable way, right? Like I won't just reply to a story and like make something up. Like if I reply to a story, it's like relevant. Yes, I am. I love recruiting. If I want to make sure that it's like relevant, like if I want to have something relevant to say, I don't want to just be like, oh my gosh, your baby's so cute. No, I'm going to respond and like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, that Chick-fil-A sandwich is my favorite. Now I want to go get one. You know what I mean? Like something that's like personal, but not like necessarily like deep or cringy, or like just keep it light and fun. And then just like you're forming a relationship with someone at the park, or like you're like the person's like your best friend from high school and you haven't seen them in a long time. Like talk to everybody like they're your friends and like they matter, like actually we are in the business of creating relationships, right? We are in the business of making an impact for others. We're in the business of like just making people feel good, and I think if you go into it mindset of like, I want to make this person's day. I want to say something to this person that's going to make them laugh, or that's going to make them smile, or that's going to like start a conversation on a day when they were kind of like stuck home and they were bored. You know what I mean? Like just go out of your way and think like, what would I want someone to respond to this story that I'm posting? And I kind of go into it that way. And I don't like to waste time with people when they're in my funnel, because the thing is if you have someone who's watching you, and they're in your funnel, so you're engaging with their content and they're engaging with your content, and they know that you're with Q Sciences and they see your success with Q, and they see you sharing about the comp plan, and they see you sharing about your favorite products, and you don't talk to them about the business, somebody else will. And someone else will get to them before you. And just because you are following them and being friends with them and engaging with them doesn't mean that they're going to say out of loyalty, like, oh yeah, I have someone that I follow who's been doing Q. No, someone else is going to slide into their DMs and they're going to compliment the heck out of them and say, like, you would be, you would absolutely love our greens. I can't believe, like, I don't know. Yes, we have seen it a million times. Like, you want to be that person. You want to create a good relationship with someone. You don't want to add someone to your funnel just to get them into your business. But at the same point in time, like, we have those people that, like, we know we want to work with them. Right. So don't waste time because you're afraid to maybe Spence. Laura Corellis was in your funnel, Alexi. But like, here's like, you're going to have people in your funnel. Yeah. You're going to have people in your funnel who are going to enroll with someone else if you don't beat someone else to the punch. You know what I mean? Like, what you have to, like, I think we get into these mindsets of being afraid, right? Like, we have this fear, like, I am so afraid to share the business with this person, whether it's just like a stay-at-home mom on a farm of like 4 kids, or it's someone who's like Alexi, like a busy mom who's also like a BA, and she's got rank here at Q Sciences and she's on the equity council, right? Like, the people that you're intimidated to reach out to, like, don't be, you know what I mean? If someone were to like, I've had people approach me, I'm sure we all have, about a network marketing company, and they compliment you and they tell you that they've been watching you and they're excited by what you're doing and they reach out to you. I'm never mad. I'm not offended because someone wants to compliment me and tell me that they want to work with me. So like, people aren't going to be mad at you. And if they are, that's some of their own issues. It's not on you. You know what I mean?
That's called the scarcity mindset. They're afraid.
Yeah, exactly. They're afraid that, like, you have something and out to people and like you're excited about it and you have this great energy, and people know Q Sciences right now. If someone's in another company, they know about Q Sciences right now, and so they are afraid that their team members and their friends or whatever are going to look at Q, because like, when you look at Q, it's hard to look away, right? So I've talked a lot. Alexi, take it over. I'm losing my voice.
I'm working out. I mean, I think you covered most of it. It's funny because when you and I were talking about this, what I had written down was like the best ways to jump into conversation. And what I had written down was, hey, I saw you're with X. How's it going? Because that's always how I start mine. I think it's really good to just, you explained it. Just rip the Band-Aid off. And then they kind of know what you're doing. You don't have to do it right that second, but you're both business people. And I guess another thing you should touch on is if it's someone that's not in another company, like what that would look like. You're the big recruiter. I feel like, so if you're talking to somebody and you're like, man, this girl's a lot like me. She's cool. I'd love to work with her. I think she'd be really good here. What would you say?
Gosh, it's been a while since that happened. It's really easy to just like, talk to people who have already been in the industry.
I think the key thing is like when you're talking to people to just make it relevant to their life. Like,
exactly.
What do you do for work? Oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Oh, cool. I see you post reels every day. Are you trying to monetize your socials? Yeah, I make a couple bucks on Amazon affiliates. That's awesome. Like, you're only making 5% on Amazon affiliates. The company that I partner with, I've been able to make like up to 30% on my sales. Mm-hmm. Are you interested in hearing about it?
Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with bringing it, because you were asking business-minded questions in that entire conversation, right? So to like bring it over to Q. Yeah, guys, there are so many people out there who share links on their stories, right? Whether it's an Amazon, like actual Amazon affiliate link, or whether it's just a link to Amazon because they know people are going to want that product. Like, there are a lot of people out there not monetizing. I was just talking to Laura and Alexi on a call today. In the past month, I've sold over $5,000 worth of merchandise on Amazon. I've made $200. That's it. $200 for over $5,000 in sales. Like that's insane to me. Um, and so if you see people who are sharing Amazon links, or you see like, bloggers, I was a blogger. I don't know if Alex is still on this call, but Alex was a blogger. Alexi was a blogger, right? Like we built our social media in the time when like blogging was big, right? And I made $79,000 on my Instagram in 2019. Okay. I have watched the influencing blogging world slowly start to deteriorate because it's so oversaturated, right? There's so many people coming in and they're like, oh yeah, I'll do an Instagram post for a t-shirt. Sure. So like you have all of these people coming in now. So no one wants to pay the work that actually goes into creating curated content, right? Like it's like hours of work. You're on someone else's schedule. It's terrible, right? So those are also people I would want to be talking to. Like, oh, I see you're sharing an Amazon link, like Alexi said, like you're monetizing your socials, like just having conversations like that. And if you ever feel stuck on how to reach out to someone, I know there's a lot of you on here that I might not know. I'm the little farmhands on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I'm Britt Kubicki. You can find me on Facebook. Like send me a message and I'm happy to help. I literally love talking people through like conversations that they're having. I'm always happy to get into a group chat. I'm the kind of person who gets like crazy if I'm not busy, and I love to help other people. Oh, thanks. Well, we've Alexi and I feed off each other in group chats. That's why it's fun. But yeah, I mean, you want to talk about like going to the funnel to the pitch, like the next step is definitely a group chat. Absolutely a group chat. So, yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted me to touch on, Lex?
No, I mean, you touched on all of it. I think it's really important to just be really bold, stop overthinking everything. And she said what I said, which is like the most important thing to remember is like, if someone tries to recruit me or tries to recruit Brittany, it doesn't hurt our feelings. If we're just like, thanks for thinking of me. Like, I'm honored that you thought of me, but no, nobody gets hurt.
And I mean, I think, yeah. And I think there's a lot of people too, who like are afraid to leave where they're at, right? There's a lot of people who have been open. They haven't been offended. They've been open and they've looked at our comp plan and they've looked at our products. And at the end of the day, they're just like, they're kind of afraid to like take that step into like jumping in. Right. And there's people,
but they're going to keep watching you.
Exactly. So I was going to say, they're going to watch you. Like you plant the seed, and I've had people who have told me no, who end up joining my business like 3, 6, 8 months later. Laura Sudemans, who's like one shiny heck of a penny. She told me no for like months. Okay. And here she is pushing it. So you never know, right? People aren't going to be, they're not going to be offended. And if they are, like I said, it's because they're in that scarcity mindset. Like, oh my gosh, how dare you? But like, I think Claudia was actually just saying this on that call last week. Like it's a compliment. You know what I mean?
And the more seeds that you're planting, the greater harvest you're going to reap in 6 to 8 months. Like you want people coming back and being like, man, is she still doing that business? Is she still successful? When their business starts to drop and they're not doing well and they are looking for another opportunity, they're going to go see what you're doing, which is why, again, we have to keep sharing what we're doing. We have to keep sharing the wins. I don't care if it's your team or not. We should always be sharing rank up graphics, always be sharing what's happening, always be sharing trainings, like showing people what's happening over here.
Yep. And I think like a lot of us get into that rut too, where we love our products, right? Like, so we overshare on our stories about product. Like Laura Sudemans has like, she's about this before, like you kind of like pick one thing and you focus on it. Like, how can you add value in your social media? Like 1 week, maybe focus on core. Week, you're going to talk about greens. And the other thing that I say is like, you don't always have to like be drinking your greens and talking about your greens. Like I will just like talk on my story sometimes and I will pick up a greens packet, rip the top off, pour it into my mason jar and just like stir it. You can see how easily it stirs in. I'll take a sip while I'm talking. I'll be taking my supplements, ripping the package off while I'm talking. Like you can show how you integrate Q into your life without talking about how you're integrating into your life, right? You don't have to like word vomit about Q products all the time. But one thing I do want to say is when we have stats, when they have those CEO calls, be ready with a pen and paper, and you got to take notes on the growth numbers, on the amount of like rank ups that happen over the month, like the amount of new exec plus, elite plus, like the new comp plan, right? Like these are the types of things that you want to be sharing graphic stuff. You don't want to talk because you don't want to over talk. Those are the types of things that I would say, like actually posting like a nice graphic with those stats on there, because you are going to have business minded people. It's all businesses lows. We all have highs and lows, right? Like I can have a really, really great month where I'm like, holy moly, my volume has never looked like this before. Like our team is crushing it. I'm so excited for everybody. And then the next month can be kind of slower because it could be a holiday or whatever. Like every business is going to have ebbs and flows. And you might be feeling that. But guess what? If you might be feeling that at some point in time, someone in your feeling it too. And if you stay consistent with posting and being happy and sharing the business growth, even if you don't feel like your own business is necessarily in crazy momentum, there's company momentum and you can utilize that to share about the business because somebody else out there is feeling really, really, and they could see you at the exact right time and it can change the trajectory of your business. Okay. So I was in another company. I was a customer there for 5 years. Within my last 3 months, I went on a retreat and I caught the vision for what this industry could look like. And I jumped in and I was like enrolling like crazy. I was selling all these kits and I was barely making money. I didn't know how to tell someone to come in and duplicate anything to find success within that company. I did not understand the comp plan and the averages. I did not never know what my paycheck was going to be. And I was praying for direction and guidance, right? Like we were like paycheck to paycheck. And all of a sudden, Alexi Fluke, who I had not ever talked to before, popped up in my Instagram stories. And I was watching how excitedly she was sharing about the momentum, the timing, and the comp plan with set pay. And I said, okay, I'll bite. Tell me more. And the rest is history.
You guys, I had no ambassadors at that point. I had not sold a damn thing. It's all about how you talk. That's why
it's your
I
energy.
say, go look at my business highlights. That's from the day I joined. Look at how I'm talking. Look at how I'm excited I am. Like, it didn't matter how she might have thought I had a whole team. I don't know. That's not the point.
No,
The
I
point
didn't. You told me you were brand new. And that's what she said. She told me like the basics. She sent me a video and she reached back out to me to follow up. And she said, I'm brand new. I'd love to connect you with my mentor, Brittany. Can I put you in a group chat? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I got to talk to Alexi. I got to hear from Brittany Hitch and how she sold the business. And I was like, okay, I'm in. Like, you never know. So like my point is, I was on a spree where I was really, really excited. I think there was actually 1 month where I was recognized as, I don't remember if it was like a top recruiter or top like sales or something. There was something like that within our team where that month I was like crushing it. Right. And my energy was great. I was still showing up on social media. Like everything was great. Okay. But inside I was having like an internal battle. I felt like I was stuck. I wasn't growing. And she popped up on my stories randomly. I had never watched her stories before. She popped up on my stories at just the right time. And so my point to you is not to like tell you my whole life story, but to tell you that you could be that light, that hope that somebody else has. So you plant those seeds, you stay consistent, you keep posting, even when it's hard. Y'all, like I show up on my social media with a big smile on my face and I have hard days. Okay. Like there are days when like I just like cry for like 3 days. Okay. It's like I'm, an emotional person, but I still get up and I still do the thing. I show up for my team. I share my friends on social media. I stay consistent because this is my business. And also like, one of my favorite quotes that you always see on our core packets is lift others to feel light. And like, that's kind of like how I live, right? Like if I can share something positively, that's going to make a positive impact or make someone smile in their day on my social media, that's my goal. Okay. So like, I always show up every single day. I'm tired. Some days it's just like literally a package of my core. And I'm talking about why I love core in writing. Okay. But just being consistent, because if you want to attract a leader, if you want to attract someone who's business minded, you have to stay consistent. And now I've gone off on a bazillion tangents. So does anybody have any questions? Did you say that you post the product info sheet and your PC link right in the comments? No, I don't post it in the comments. I put it in my Milkshake. So it's an app. If you don't know, it's like an app called Milkshake. It's an App Store and Google Store, I believe. So you download Milkshake, the app, and you can like design everything right in the app. But I'll go into Arc and I'll take my PC link and I will paste it into my Milkshake, and I'll have like buy collagen here. Like obviously the link is the same for the collagen and the detox tea and the sprays and everything, right? It's all the same enrollment link, but I'll still have it like, so it'll say like collagen info sheet, and someone can click on that and it'll take them to the, info sheet for the collagen. And then like right below that, I'll have the link for joining, like my PC link, and it'll say like purchase collagen here or purchase medical grade liquid collagen here. And then like I'll have detox tea info. So yes, it's on my milkshake. And I like milkshake. You can add pictures, you can customize it, you can add pages, all that jazz. Don't be scared to ask people who said no to other businesses. My most recent partner told me no to every other with, but now she's here with me. Exactly. Exactly. Like there are, like I said, like people have come to me about other businesses and I don't even bother looking, but like, Q is special. Like you never know what is going to make someone jump. And for me, like, that's why I think it's important to like talk about 5Fs, family, friendship, fitness, and finances, because you never know what area of someone's life they're struggling with one of those F's. Like you never know what you're going to be able to offer someone. So sharing like my Q Fit, sharing, the products that we have, or sharing, oh my gosh, our FFM or our comp plan, right? Like you have things that you can offer. Everybody, I'm going to keep going through, just see, is it best to stick to one niche on TikTok, like Instagram? No, I don't think so. I mean, somebody else might tell you to transition, or not transition, might tell you to niche down. On Instagram, I feel like I have a niche, right? But on TikTok, I just went into it with like, I needed a creative outlet. And so I just started talking about like what I was doing, right? Like, so recently I had like a bread video go viral. I've had a few bread videos go viral where I'm literally talking about how I make my bread in my bread maker. And it was just me bored one day wanting to record something to put it up there. And I was like, I don't care if it gets 10 views. And then it's gotten over like 200,000 views and like tons of comments and tons of like bread maker sales on Amazon. So like that, my garden, my cows, my kids, my grocery hauls, like it's a little bit of everything. I like TikTok because like, I feel like you can show up as yourself, right? Like just do whatever you're doing on a day and let people see that insight. Like Laura Sudemans went on vacation. And so she has a lot of business content, but then like she's home now. So she's got a lot of fitness content. And like, I think you can really, you don't have to like niche down. I think like just show up as you are. I mean, I still like to like make sure my hair is brushed, and sometimes I'll try and make sure I have my ring light on, but that's more just because of like, I like natural light. But does anybody else have any questions? Unmute yourself and ask anything. Anybody? No? Okay. Well, thanks y'all for giving me some of your time. Sorry I took so much of it. Hopefully you feel a little bit more confident about going into conversations with people in your funnel. Like I said, my inbox is always open. I'm the Little Farmhands or Brittany Kubicki on Facebook. Just like message me anytime you have a question. Like this is like Sheila. I want to reach out to her. This is Sally. I want to reach out to her. And I'm more than happy to help you. So y'all have a good night. Sorry, I've been like losing my voice, but thanks for hanging out with me on a Tuesday. Later.